Well, good morning, and good morning. Welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments with an outdoor flair. I'm out here because I started pulling weeds. I'm getting ready. Look at the leaves and all of that. Got my pumpkins out. Uh, so I came out. I got up extra early. I'm taking a page from Jason Cisneros' playbook and starting to get up an hour. I'm going to start with an hour earlier than usual, coming into the house an hour earlier than usual, and do what I can to get my day off in a productive way. So I had started slipping over the last year and a half, so here I am in the kitchen. And this morning I got up and I rearranged this counter because we have a new addition to the family, our baby, Kitchenika. That's her name, Kitchenika. Yes, that is an urban name. Thank you very much. And so anyway, that's what I'm doing and using my new stand. Do you want to see my new stand? Look at that, huh? No more having to clip it inside of, where is that thing? This thing, which as you can see, broke. First the legs came off down there, and then these little things started breaking off. And anyway, that's what I've been doing. I'm not kidding you guys. As a matter of fact, going to be some free workshops and a virtual summit. I'm just got invited to do a virtual summit yesterday with Jason Cisneros. I think mid-November, early December. We're going to be doing a series on how to get into 2020 with the vision known as 2020. Ding, ding. Because, listen, I don't know about you. I when I look back over the last year, yeah, was I successful? Yeah, I was. But could I have been even more successful? Yes, ma'am. Sure could have. And, I have gotten into some type of a routine every year where even though here's what I'm going to start doing. Instead of looking at all the accomplishments, I'm going to focus on and get real with the things that I said I was going to do that I didn't. Looking at the things that I could have done, but I didn't. All of that. Not to beat myself up, but to look for ways and things that I could have drug into the game, blew the whistle, took them off the bench, got them actively participating in my game of life. And I'm serious about it. Why? Because you know what? I'm 57, okay? Thank you. I heard you say you don't look a day over 30. Okay, 60. Anyway, I am dedicated, full out dedicated now, to reminding myself in some way every day that at 57, you know what, Loren? It's most likely you have more life behind you than you have ahead of you. I don't think I'm going to be 114. It's possible, doubtful. Although my great-grandfather lived to be 106, sired his last child at age 92. Yes, he did. So anyway, but I'm not counting on that, right? I'm trying to get her done. That is my theme song, my mantra, my motto from here on out. Get her done. Our legacy is not complete if we don't complete all that we can while we are within the journey. So that's what I'm doing, and I am interested in what are you all doing to better yourselves going into 2020. There's something about 2020. I feel it. I believe there's a gathering. All the people that are through the law of attraction. I believe that we're going to be doing things with and around each other like never before. Don't ask me how I know, but those that work with me know that I've got a knack with that feeling of I call it just the innate feeling. It's that first mind that is directly connected with what you believe to be greater than yourselves. In my case, he or she is God. And so I really believe that if you are ready for a breakthrough, if you are ready for the year, the decade of your life, step into 2020 with both feet. Don't stick a toe in. Don't go into the ankles. Dive in. Dive in 1,000,000%. And watch what happens. Okay, are you with me? Let me see some hearts on the screen. You know, I wasn't planning that this morning, but hey, the best content is based on the life you are currently living or the life you have most recently lived. And I know it to be true. How about you? So welcome to the show. I'm your host, Loren Harris, and welcome to today's installment of Bathrobe Moments. It's back there. I'm going to put it on because I am a bit chilly after going outside. Thank you for the hearts. I'm glad you're with me. Let's do this thing together. You know, I'm going to start a group where you can come in. We're going to work through, listen, where is my book? Doggone it. Where's my, I'll show you tomorrow. But the Motivation Manifesto, all of my coaching clients, we're going to be starting November 1st to have a 1-week session, group session each week. And it's almost like a book club. And we're going to be working through Brendan Burchard's The Motivation Manifesto. If you Google free copy of the Motivation Manifesto, Brendan will send you a beautiful hardcover free copy. I think now you have to pay a few dollars for shipping. But still, it is worth it. And we're going to be working through it as a group. And even if you're not coaching with me, if you would like to be a part of this weekly book club, if you will, where we're going to get into that book and really support each other going into 2020. I believe I need more people beside me. I really do. For me, you know, this isn't cutting it. I love it here. I love all the other things and the speaking and this and the other. But you know what? I need to get in there and sit down and have some knee-to-knee, eye-to-eye, heart-to-heart conversations with my family, with my fellow siblings in this journey of changing lives one at a time. So if you are interested in more information on when Jason and I are doing the virtual summit or to get inside the once-a-week free group coaching, where we're going to be there to support each other, to help each other, and to walk beside each other all the way into purpose, all the way through 2020 and beyond, right? So if you're still out on the front porch, what the heck? Get in here, take your shoes off. And wipe your feet and get ready. Stephen, I see you. I'm going to hit you in just a second, but first things first, because they're under contract and I ain't trying to get sued. Welcome to the show, my sidekick, my best gal, and my girl who is just always there for me, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo. Today we are on toasted almond. I found it in the freezer, tucked away behind a rib roast that I am thawing out for dinner tonight. And so I was like, let's try it. It's pretty good. And also coming to the show right now, here she is, the one with the long torso, Miss Lucy McGillicuddy Ricardo, too. Now, gotta open her. I know you guys are wondering, where is the theme song? What the heck? Captain Kangaroo is here, my confidant from my childhood. He knows where all of the Stretch Armstrong bodies are buried. And I did have a total of 6 of them because I kept hiding them and telling my mother that somebody must be stealing my Stretch Armstrongs. I can't find any of them. Well, secretly, I had been performing surgeries on them because they were just, there was something about that Stretch stuff. It's not like it changed through the 6 Stretch Armstrongs that I sliced my way through, but I'd always think, well, maybe I missed something. Let me go back in. So Captain Kangaroo was who I confided. Crossed my fingers as I lied to my mother, and then I was some telemarketer, and I would tell my mother I would tell Captain Kangaroo exactly where I buried them, and I literally buried them in our backyard. So, Stretch Armstrong, rest in peace, all 6 of you. So anyway, welcome to the show today. You know, I don't know how many of you know my story, or you know people like Misty Lane. The list goes on and on. Perhaps yourself. None of us has lived a perfect, ideal life. Nothing like the story. Is that something on my tooth? Sorry. This is a great mirror. I'm just saying. So anyway, none of us. We've all gone through something. And I believe, and I'm sure you can agree with this, maybe, hopefully, that everything we live through is proof that we are now an authority on that journey, on that season that we made it through. Because if something doesn't kill you, it empowers you. It makes you an automatic authority on how to get through something difficult. And that is what our message is. That is the grout Those experiences, I believe, are the grout in between the individual seasons, or tiles, if you will. Picture your journey as a kitchen floor. Every season you go through, every mile marker you pass is a beautiful tile that you're going to make this mosaic, this beautiful floor, this beautiful, beautiful experience that when you look at it, like a big piece of painting or a mural, or when you're in one of those art places. What are they called? Where they hang all the stuff on. Those galleries. Sometimes the pieces are so big, if you're up close, you have to back up. And you know how in art galleries you see people standing there, just staring and soaking it in? That's how the mosaic of the tiles of your seasons, your mile markers, will look when you back off and you look at it. But don't just leave them there laid out. You got to pour grout in between them so that they are held together for all time. And that now they're functional. Now your experiences are functional. And our stories serve as that grout. Pour them in between the experiences and they will all begin to make sense. Each tile will take its place. You will see how every moment you ever lived and all the people that have passed through your life, the good, the bad, and the ugly, were each chosen to play a particular moment, a particular role in your unique particular story. So that is what we're trying to do with the virtual summit with Jason Cisneros, and also the book club, the group where we're going to start doing all kinds of interpersonal work, personal development, making each other accountable, and just grabbing each other by the hand, taking our flashlights of purpose and saying, I'm not going to help you get through the forest from a distance, a safe vantage point. Go to the left. Go in. No, no, no. No, because the further we are from each other, no matter how bright our lights, they're going to get thinner. They're going to get weaker with distance. So what we need to do is get up right beside each other, because then when we shine our lights on the path before us, the light goes across the path, we can lock arms and we can walk into that darkness together, because we've done it before. Most of us have done it before, many times all alone. But because we are here together, fulfilling the promise of God, where two or more of us join together, we get to lock arms. No more fear. Let's shine our lights and let's get her done. Okay, now, Stephen, you might have to hit that button again. I'm going to... I hate that screen. See, that's why. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there. Now, I'm going to go back up and find Mr. Stephen, who is our guest today. And the reason, bring him on camera. There we go. The reason is because Stephen is another person, just like myself and many of you, who... sit tight 1 second, sir. Oh, well, hold on. I didn't know you were going all the way with the bathrobe, Stephen.
I'm ready.
It's hard for me to get into character when I don't have my theme song. Oh, and that's another thing. Why don't I have my theme song? Let me just tell y'all. Sit tight 1 second, Stephen. I'm glad you came in so quickly. Listen.
You're welcome.
Best Buy. My computer died again. So this time I was like, okay, I'll have them fix it because I got the warranty and all that, but I'm going to buy a new one, right? And so all they had to do, they had one job yesterday, and was to take everything off of my external hard drive and ship it into the new device.
Mm-hmm.
I was there when they opened.
Mm-hmm.
11 o'clock, I walked out of there. I showed back up. I wasn't waiting for them to call me or send me an alert. I went there. They hadn't even started it. So I don't have my theme song today, but I talked to the managers, and you know how we get, right? I don't care. None of us are sunshine and unicorns all the time, but we have to make people accountable because, people count on us,
Mm-hmm.
right? And Stephen, I know you can understand that. Let me tell you something. I thought I knew about you. I'm going to plug these in so I'll sound better to everybody. Now, Steve Smith is here, everyone. Welcome, Stephen, to the show. Send some hearts up.
Thank you.
Those will serve as your virtual applause. So if you would, everybody, right now, he's a first-timer here on Bathrobe Moments, and so happy to have you. Welcome aboard,
Well,
sir.
thank you very much. I am just honored and humbled, blessed to be here this morning. Thank you very much, Loren.
You're welcome. And just off the record, a little side note, you got some great hair and your skin looks quite supple and youthful. What's your secret?
The lighting behind me.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
I'm
let
out
me know where
in
you got that.
I don't know. I just I'm outside a fair bit, although I work indoors.
You do?
I work inside. Yeah, as a matter of fact, bathrobe moments are appropriate because 9 times out of 10, I'm in the bathroom, actually.
Oh, the
The
bathroom.
bathroom, absolutely.
Okay, we'll save that for another show. Uh, so listen, let's I want to thank you, and I'm
Thank you.
grateful for you because you're a first timer, and I'm really working on bringing in more and more new people who have never been here, so that we can all get to know each
Thank you.
other and expand our arena of people we love and trust and believe
Yes.
in. And so when I looked into your bio, I mean, okay, Steven sends me these things every morning, these that he's gonna, or I'm going live in 2 minutes at 4:30 a.m. Okay, I just kind of blew all that out of proportion, but it's very early, and I was getting them like, I don't know when I was getting them, but I think I sent you
Early,
something
yeah.
and said,
Yeah.
listen, you have to give me
Notice.
advance
Yes.
warning, right? And but he gets up and you send this thing. It's the very first thing in the morning when the sun is rising from wherever he lives, which is where.
Sarasota, Florida. I'm on the west coast of
Oh,
Florida, about central
oh.
Florida.
Okay, hence the puka shell necklace.
This actually came from a gentleman that I met one day on a job site, and he's an islander and he makes these. And I commented on his puka shell necklace, which was they were huge, and I'd never seen anything like it because I've always enjoyed puka shells. And
See, aren't you shocked I knew that's what that
yeah,
was?
it's exactly what it is. And you know,
I'm an 80s
there
boy.
you go. And I'm trying to remember the island that he's from, but bottom line is he gave me this necklace, and so yes, I wear it with pride, and absolutely, I love puka shells too. Yeah,
Nice. Well, you don't see people up here in the Midwest traditionally wearing puka shells. That's why I kind of had to
right.
go,
Well,
hmm, rubbing it in our face a
yeah,
little
I'm
bit.
kind of a beach kind of guy. That's where I grew up. Yeah.
Nice. So, so Steven, excuse me.
Yes.
You tell us what you do.
Okay, well, I do a lot of things, but I have a regular job. My regular job is a family business here that I started for us. It's a franchise in Sarasota, Florida. I started it in 2006. And what we do is we do
Okay.
bathtub refinishing with a porcelain glaze. And the most,
Ooh, with a porcelain
yes, the porcelain
glaze.
glaze.
Ooh, almost sounds like some kind of food dish, but I'm with you. Go ahead.
So nonetheless, it's wonderful. My friend started his franchise in like 83. I was right there with him. I started ours in '06.
Oh,
Okay. So
okay. It's making sense now,
yeah.
Steven. I saw something, came across my
Uh-huh.
thread last week where you were finishing up a
Yes.
tub, and you're like, and here we are, and you were going to peel the stuff off. And I
Yeah.
was like, oh,
Yeah, that was
okay. I get
probably
it
at the
now.
Hotel Renola, which is a historical hotel here right downtown Sarasota. And it's
Okay.
it's it's a wonderful thing. I enjoy my job. I'm very blessed and lucky that way, that I get to transform tubs and tile and countertops and sinks that are all worn out, and most people might just tear them out, throw them away. But I go
Right.
back in and I make them as close to new as it possibly gets with a safe and non-toxic porcelain glaze. And
Okay.
yeah,
And there's your commercial for your
it is.
shop.
Thank you. So,
Okay. There we go.
um,
And
yeah, that's what I do.
are you on any billboards?
Not yet.
Are you?
Not
No.
yet.
Or what about bus benches?
Not yet. No. We're on the
See
internet.
how you said not
We're on
yet?
the internet.
Okay.
We.
I think that day is coming. I think that day is
I believe
coming.
you're correct.
Need your tub redone? Call Steven,
Well,
So listen,
that's one of my things is that I plan
that's
to have
what
that.
you do for
Yeah,
money.
that's what I do
That's
for
what
money.
you do for income.
So,
But you
but
do a
what?
whole bunch of other
Yes.
things. But let's start at the
Yeah.
beginning. Let's start at the
Okay.
beginning. Let's go back
Yes.
and tell people. Uh, First of all, start with your
Okay.
family. Do you have
All right.
kids?
Okay.
This, that, anything, and then let's go back to. Can I pick an age and have you start at it, and let's see how close I.
Certainly.
Let's go to 18-year-old Stephen and move
18 years
forward.
old. Okay, that's a good choice right there. Um, okay, to start with is that my family is here. My immediate family, my father, my mother, my sister, and my granddaughter and my brother. Um, so
Okay.
it's a family business that I'm involved with for the work end of it, for the day job thing. I originally come from
Oops.
Canada, Ontario, Canada. Yes.
Oh.
But I spent a
Okay.
lot of time, about 20 years total, down in Southern California, in Mission Viejo, San Juan Capistrano area. And that's where the beach part of me comes from, because I grew up on the beach.
Okay.
Now, at 18 years old, it was a transition for me. I was out of school. I was actually working for some family friends at a fireplace outlet in Yuba City, California. And at that point, they were the worst place in California to live. Okay. And yet I was there.
Mm-hmm.
So I was managing and running a fireplace wood stove store. And I was in that industry for a while. But interestingly enough, just prior to that, right about 19 years old, I actually got myself in a whole lot of trouble. I really did. And
At what age?
at 19,
Aha.
yeah. So yes, in fact,
I wondered why 18 kept flashing in my mind.
yeah,
Okay.
I
Okay.
made some poor choices, and I didn't set some boundaries at that point in time in my life. And so,
What happened?
yeah, that's very serious that you asked me that. I ended up being involved in driving a person that ended up robbing a store, and I really wanted no part of that situation at all. And where I made my poor choice was I allowed him to get back into my car and took him home. Ultimately, yeah, we got in trouble, and I ended up going to prison for like uh, 18 months. But it was a real
18 months as an accessory,
yes, as accessory. Yeah.
and you had no prior record.
No, no.
So let's talk about the core of how that happened. That's why I believe 18 came
Yeah.
up.
Okay.
So bear with
Sure.
me,
Sure.
okay? Bear with
Yes.
me, because I'm listening to. I have an offset director who's like flashing cue
Oof.
cards in my mind.
Yeah.
So I don't want. Well, I say that as a disclaimer, so you know that I'm not trying to take you somewhere
Yeah.
you don't want to
Yeah.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm seeing the cue cards, which is in my
Yes.
experience usually because it's taking us someplace we all need to
Right.
go.
And this is something that I had not
Okay,
shared with anybody. Nobody. This is a first for that, and I love
really,
first. Yes. I've
I
I've
do
written
too.
a book, and I was real transparent about my experiences of drinking and driving about 9 years ago. I'm working on the book that's going to share some of these other things that I had done that, I just made some really unhealthy choices. And so,
So
yes,
wait
at
a
that
minute.
time, yeah,
Hold on. So you said you wrote a book already about everything.
I co-authored a chapter in A Journey of Riches. Yes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, that's why you couldn't fit everything in there,
One
clearly.
chapter wouldn't do it.
Okay. Okay, but you're going to write a book, or have you written the
I'm
book
working on it.
that starts from
Yes.
the book that takes us from the rooter to the
Yeah,
tutor?
exactly. It's going to
Okay.
be an
Okay.
ultimately an instructional empowerment, what I experienced and what I've
Mm-hmm.
done and how my life is transformed. And actually, the book or the chapter
Mm-hmm.
that I wrote was Journey of Riches Transformational Change. And so, yeah,
Okay.
it is
Okay.
about transformational change and how, yeah,
Okay, stop. Here comes you may not know about her, but she's a regular here on the
yes.
show. She's invisible, and you'll understand that I have a lot of invisible friends because all of you are just visiting my
Yes.
universe. That's it. I live here, so it's like, yeah. So she's the crossing guard
Yes.
lady that will come out and go
Stop.
stop,
Wait.
because something really important needs to be taken a closer
Let's do
look
that.
at. So let's go back to that person.
Yes.
Person. Do you even remember that person's
Oh, yes,
name?
certainly. And
Let's use a first
well,
name.
let's not.
Okay, well, let's make up a name that starts with that letter. We need to call it something.
Okay.
I don't know
Ricky.
why. How many years
Let's
ago
say
is that?
Ricky. I was about 19 years old. That's what.
We got that. Okay, I got a series of questions.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Yeah.
Follow me.
Okay.
Okay. Seriously,
Yes.
don't forget the cue card guy
Okay.
or gal.
Let's do
Seriously, this is
this.
good stuff. Let's do
Okay.
this. Okay, so Ricky,
Ricky,
we,
very
right,
close to me.
we're
Yes.
calling, changing the
Yes, we
names
are.
to protect the
We are.
guilty.
Yeah.
So Ricky is in your life.
Yes.
First of all, what type of person was Ricky? I mean, you know what I'm getting at? The law of attraction. We're talking about the law
Yes.
of attraction right
Yes.
now.
Yes. Yes.
How we
Yes.
bring people in, and when something tells us something, our first mind tells us, warns
Yes.
us, no, go back, and we go ahead and guess our way into the second choice. That's why it's called second guessing,
Yes.
because we didn't follow the first mind, which is connected to the creator. I know this to be
Right.
true, so it's not even a question.
Right.
But what warning signs did you have that,
It kind of came to me as a surprise. I was shocked that this person wanted to do this. What happened, what ensued when he told me what he wanted to do, a serious argument and yelling, a lot of screaming at him, um, telling him, "Look, I don't want anything to do with this. This is ridiculous. This is crazy."
okay, so something's going on with our internet.
Oh, are you there?
I know the internet, you started going in slow
Ah,
motion and stuff.
okay. That's weird. I don't think I'm on Wi-Fi.
Yeah, kind of here.
Uh,
I wonder if it's you or if it's me. I seem normal to me, but don't we
yeah,
all? Um,
I believe I've got a sign right
your side of
behind
the
me
screen is
here,
doing
and it
weird
says
stuff.
normal is just a setting on the washing machine.
Hey, can you hear
Yes.
me? Go out and come back in.
Okay. Are you going to send me an invitation,
Oh,
or shall I just exit?
no.
Okay.
When you go out and come back in, I'll hit the
Okay,
thing.
let's do that. We'll start over. That sounds fine.
Okay. Okay, because you're speeding up and slowing down. That just means this story is that good. Whenever this kind of stuff happens, I know what's
Oh
going
yeah.
on. I don't blame it on just
Oh
the
no.
internet. I blame it on, the other net.
Internet gods.
Because that other net, no, there ain't but one God. I'm gonna just say this. Seriously though, Stephen, when your story is so powerful and can change tons and tons and tons of lives, everything that happens, I call it Cletus. I'm like, Cletus, trick no good, trying to mess up our thing
Oh
here
yeah.
today. And the usual listeners here know about it. So wait a minute, you're clear in. Are you coming in clear? Yes.
Good.
Say
I'm
something.
here.
Okay, good. Let's move
Good.
forward. Okay, so we have Ricky.
Yes.
So you knew, but wait a minute. You're having this
Yes.
conversation and you're pushing back. No, I don't want to have anything.
Yes.
So you had forewarning.
Yes.
You knew he was going in that store to
Yes.
rob it.
Yes.
Boy, what if he'd have killed somebody when he was in there? You know you'd still be in prison.
Yes.
But you were 19, and we all know how that
Yes.
was for all of us.
I should have
Okay,
left. At that
so
moment, I
why
should
did you?
have left.
How many times do you figure, just a wild guess, how many times do you think you heard something or felt something that told you, you don't want to do this? How many times, roughly?
Pretty much every time that I made a choice that was not going to be very healthy for me.
Were you happy in your life?
As a teenager and younger, yes, I was happy. Yes.
At
Yeah,
that
I
time?
sure
At
was.
that
Yeah.
time?
The prison
So
thing
you
changed
didn't.
me, though. That did.
Well, you think?
Yeah.
It changed me
Yeah.
too. It sure did. So let me ask you something.
Mhm.
What do you feel? I know you look back over this because I do all the
Mhm.
time. What do you feel that power that Ricky had over you, that persuasion? What do you think that was?
That's a very good question. Um, the persuasion, see, I thought I was not being part of it, and yet I was. Because it's like, okay, I said I'm not going to be involved. If you're going to do that, I didn't want to swear there, but if you're going to do
You
that,
can.
yeah,
We
if you're going
grown.
to do that, uh, you do it. I'm not going to have any part of it. But I waited for that person to come back. And so that did make me an accessory, and I do recognize that.
So you never considered the term getaway driver?
Well, no, I didn't think it through. And so that was part of,
Were you doing this? When you were sitting there waiting for him to come out, were you doing this?
yeah, oh yeah. Oh
Everything
God,
that
yes. Um, yeah,
that's usually what a getaway driver does.
yeah. I mean, I
I'm just
wasn't
saying.
trying to keep a lookout as such, but nonetheless, I was mostly looking for him. Please come back. I was hoping he might change his mind, but he didn't, and that's okay.
How many times did you tell yourself, I should start the car and get the hell out of here?
I hadn't
Let Ricky
thought
do what
about
Ricky
that, but
needs to
I'm sure it
do.
went through multiple times, and I should have just left. Yes, I in fact have left that person sitting on the side of the road later in life. Absolutely. Oh yes.
Oh, so you weren't done with Ricky?
No, no, no.
Oh. Okay, and the reason I'm going
Yeah.
all into this is because of this, and this is real
Yes.
talk, you guys. You know, we sometimes look at like situations like the one that Stephen is describing as, "Ooh, that was a
Oh
big
yeah,
one,"
it was big.
and then we look at those other times where somebody got us for some money or they betrayed
Mhm.
us with their word or whatever it
Right.
was as a little
Right.
thing. And the thing about it is that voice that convinces us to choose our way into something we know we shouldn't, and it overrides the voice of the creator. I'd like to go back and say, you know what? I need to memorize every scale, every octave of your voice, because the little things, it's not a different voice, it's just in a different octave.
Right.
You
Right.
see, the person who I loaned money and they never paid
Mhm.
me back, and I still haven't let it go. The person like Ricky, we all have a
Mhm.
Ricky who talked us into, or we allowed
Yes.
him to help us choose our way into something
Yes.
that changed our lives forever. That's a different octave. You see what I mean? But it's the same voice. So I want you to talk about that, because that same voice has never been silenced. It's going to always try to do what it did
That's
back
right.
then.
So
Mhm.
in response to that, I wasn't listening to really, and I believe I have a higher power, and that is God. And yes,
Amen.
so I was an altar boy and all of that as a kid. So I had, and my parents did good there, so they instilled some faith in God in me. And yet at that point in my life, as a Christian, I hadn't been saved yet by Jesus. I hadn't accepted Jesus really fully as my Savior. Now, and so therefore, I really didn't listen to the spiritual messages that I was getting.
Ah.
And I was in charge of my
Mm.
own decisions, and I know best. And so, because I thought I knew best, and I
Good
made
point.
bad choices. Whereas
Yeah.
today, that's so much different because now I allow that spiritual discernment to take place and think things through because I just simply wasn't thinking things through either. I wasn't considering the
Can I ask you a
consequences at
question?
all.
Exactly. Can I ask you a question?
Yes,
You know how it stands out to me now that when you're, because you're the big Stephen of today,
thank
and
you.
you're the shoulders that the Stephen of tomorrow and next week and next month
Yes,
and next year will
yes,
stand on, and this Stephen at 19 and all the other versions of you provided the shoulders that you stand on. So back when you were 19, and you came out, you said Christianity, this and the other.
yes,
So when you would speak to that world for you back then, did you refer to it as religious?
yes,
Because now you're saying
yes.
spiritual, and there is a difference between those two
That's correct.
worlds. Religious is just like going through the motions. It was for me.
Yes,
I was doing what I was told. I didn't understand why I was doing it. I was pushing back. And then when I had my own interpersonal transformation and spirituality became 100% of who I am, everything started looking different.
yes, it does. And
Lee.
I was religious at that point, most certainly is what I would consider myself.
Big
I
difference.
didn't really become spiritual, I feel, till about 2004. So, yeah,
Wow.
that's been my spiritual journey since about 2004, which is a whole nother level of consciousness and a much more rewarding um, level of, conscious thinking.
Stephen, I already know
Hmm.
this because I have a gift and I can tell. There's not just, I have written down here that voice, exclamation point, underline, underline, because there is a soothing element to your voice, a very soothing element. And when I say soothing, I don't mean it's just like butter, you know, excuse me. But what I also mean is there's a ring of truth that goes, that is going straight down the middle. And I believe that's always been there. Because we got to take a look at it. I believe the earlier those negative forces start to try to
Hmm.
derail us is because they already see the glow from the
Hmm.
anointing that you have to change lives in a big, big way, all of
Yes,
us.
we all do.
And you see what I'm
Hmm.
saying? And I believe that there's something about your
Thank
voice
you.
that either you're the kind of person that people have always come to and say, let me tell you something, get any advice for me, or something. You know, when things are wrong, they can call you, talk me down or something. What is that thing that I'm feeling?
Well, I'm trying to understand that as well. And I just think honestly, it's just when I talk a lot of times, particularly in the videos that I do, a lot of times I cannot even remember what I've said. And what I recognize is that is, in
Mm,
fact, that is the spirit speaking through me when I speak. And I allow that these days. Um, I've been told several times by several of the viewers that watch my video, they like my voice. And so it's been
mm-hmm.
something I haven't really looked at it or considered it, and I
You
don't
should.
understand it, but apparently there's something in my voice. Now I can say this, I can say that I've always been, honesty was really at the core of my belief system. Now I'll
Mm-hmm.
admit I lied so much about my drug and alcohol use. I just had to cover that up because I was so afraid of what
Mm-hmm.
people would think, and it could hurt my career, and it
Mm.
could, people wouldn't like me and all this stuff. And so I lied a lot about that. I could be drunk and they'd say, "Oh, you've been drinking." "Oh, no, I haven't been drinking." You know?
Okay, let's here comes the crossing guard lady. Ding, 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 ding. Okay,
Yes.
now here's how I want you to picture
Yeah.
this
Okay.
moment. And let's go back to that mile marker
Yes.
of the drug and
Yes.
alcohol. It doesn't have to be the specific
Yeah.
moment, but you'll
Yes.
know when
Okay.
I say it. The doorbell to your world
Yes.
rings. You open it up, and there he is, alcohol and drugs, looking at you, and arms are full of packages,
Yes.
and says, "How you doing?
Mm,
Mind if I come in?"
mm. Well, I started.
What
Oh,
made
go ahead.
you what made you roll out the red carpet and say, "Oh, are you kidding me? Get in here."
I was young. I was
Okay.
young. I was 14 years old.
But what was
Yeah,
going
I was
on?
14 years old. I was ninth grade, my first year of
Oh.
high school. And yeah, so I just thought it was cool. I had tried.
Okay, so that's where you started experimenting.
Yeah, at 14 years old.
But
Yeah,
when he came that time, because everybody, we all did
right,
that,
right,
most of
right.
us anyway. But that time where he came and just,
It was a lifestyle thing. I grew up in a family that drinking, 5 o'clock, okay, now it's time for a cocktail. All right. And so that
mm,
was the thing. And that was normal to have that drink at 5 o'clock type thing. And so it was a social thing. It was a relax from the day thing. And then in business, in my business life, what did we do after the trade show or whatever I might have been attending? It's all about the social thing. Go have a drink at the bar. I thought it was a regular, cool, the thing to do. And it became habitual. And
same thing with drugs.
drugs, not so habitual, but habitual for short periods of time until I realized, oh my
But I mean, when
goodness.
you what to make the choice, was it because, oh, everybody's doing it, weekend warrior, blah blah blah, I'm partying, I'm successful, this is what happens, it's during that decade, whether it was whenever it was it that, or as we all know, who can
Mhm.
say that we are addicts,
Yeah.
and I still don't say am, I say
I
was,
say was
because
too.
I
Yeah.
claim,
Yeah.
I do too, because I claim
Yeah.
coming through.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
see what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
saying? But everybody's got their own way of
Right.
dealing with it. But I want to ask you. So, but you and I both know. You and I. Let's
Mhm.
keep it real. So, but do you know that there was something
It was
swimming at the bottom of the
what I
pool?
recognize about it is that having started doing drugs and alcohol at a young age, because I've had a lot of recovery, I've got a lot of recovery under my belt. Um, Recovery information, I'm talking about 30-day stints. I'm talking about 6-month stints. Um,
Like
oh yeah,
in-house things?
in-house. 30 days a
Okay,
couple
okay.
times and 6 months at one stretch. Yeah, and that was the last go was
Your idea or someone else's?
yeah, the court definitely. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And one of
Well, it
them,
makes a difference
once I
whose
went on
idea.
my own, yeah, I did. I recognized I gotta just do something here for myself. And so I did go to a 30-day inpatient. Um, Trying to get back to, well,
Now, how old are you when you do that? when you start making those kinds of great decisions? How old were you then? I'm
Now
just
that was
curious.
back in about 2007. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Recently,
yeah.
pretty much.
Within what, the last
Okay.
12 years or so that I finally went to
Okay. Okay.
recovery, and then started attending, AA and things like that. Although I had been
Okay.
doing AA, honestly, I've been doing AA since like 93 off and on,
Okay.
so for a very long time. I was aware back in the mid 90s, I got a drinking problem, and then so I should do something about that. Yeah. Uh,
So let me ask you this. Let's go here. Let's switch
yeah.
gears a little bit. Because I can tell there's a whole bunch more coming.
Okay.
So, okay, you admitted that the alcohol and the drinking was a
Yeah.
secret, and you became
Yes.
proficient at lying
Oh,
about it to
yes.
cover it, which we
Yep.
all do. Um,
Yeah.
so what happened? You walk into prison one person, you walk
I
out
did.
another. Did you feel like you needed to? Did you keep that part of your journey a secret for a while? When were you able to speak freely, like you are here today on the show, that about what happened at 19 with Ricky?
Oh,
When you
thank
came
you.
out, did you hide
I
it?
just say thank you, Lauren, because today is the first time I've spoke about that particular incident to anyone. And so yeah, today is real. I've spoken about it with other people at times. Yeah, I didn't have a problem sharing it with my closer friends. From a professional aspect, absolutely no. That was going to be on the other
Oh.
person to figure that one out. Um, but
Mm.
Today, I don't fear sharing my experiences because I recognize that those were those adverse, painful situations were the opportunity to learn and grow from. It just took me a long time, and that takes me back to okay, I started doing drugs and alcohol, so I know, and it's pretty well scientifically proven that your brain gets affected by this, and so I did not learn the proper coping mechanisms. And so it took all those years to finally learn the proper coping mechanisms to be able to deal with life. And I was using the drugs and
Mm-hmm.
alcohol to escape from reality. And so I do know that now. Um, and when I recognized that actually it's time to get real with myself, and the recovery was exceptional for me to be able to finally release myself of the bad stuff I'd done. Um, and in the AA world, take that fourth step, about all the wrongs that we've done, and then write them down and who we affected, and then take it to a fire pit and burn it up and release it. It was the biggest weight off my shoulders in my life. So since that in '07, yeah, my life has been slowly but surely transforming into a much more positive um, aspect and manner of enjoying life. And that's exactly what my topic was this morning on my video, enjoying
Uh-huh.
everyday life. And I can now.
Uh-huh.
And it's a beautiful
Uh-huh.
thing that I can enjoy life, because for so many years I did not. I was very
Mm-hmm.
ashamed of myself.
Aha. Here she comes. Ding, 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 ding. Because, and I always write these things down as I hear
Yes,
them to prove, I didn't just say
yes,
that. It's there. And while you were just
yes.
speaking, here, three things came out. Boom, boom, boom. So you tell me what they mean, because I already know you're going to know. Because, again, the cue cards.
Got you.
Okay. Take us to the place in your life where this is what you were saying to yourself. This was what you woke up to and went to sleep with. The thing you looked over your shoulder about nearly every day, every minute of
Yeah,
every day. And you'll
yeah,
know what it means. When you would say or hear yourself say, what if they find out? And also I hear, nobody would ever believe that this has happened to me. That the responsibility of blowing someone's perception,
yes,
because all they do is sing your praises, and this is guy that you know who I'm talking about, that
yes,
guy. And then on the other side of listening and hearing that coming from the commentator and not the narrator, they're two different
mm,
entities. The commentator is going to speak tragedies over and over. The narrator is going to tell you this is just another thing, and this too shall pass. Okay, so
yes,
but when you're listening to the commentator, it leads you to the consideration of taking one's own life.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so with those two things that you heard
Yes,
there, and then the convincing,
yes.
take us to that place, because you know
For
where it
many, many
was.
years, because of my drinking and the drugging, it created a low self-esteem for me. I was ashamed of
Mm.
myself. I was
Mm-hmm.
concerned about what other people might think of me and that they would hold it against me. And to be achieving the things that I wanted to achieve, I couldn't be honest about those areas of my life.
It was eating
It
you
was
up.
terrible. So as a result, literally every night, I would lay down and say, "Oh, I hate my life. I hate me. I don't want to live."
Mm-hmm.
I said that many for
Mm-hmm.
very decades. I've said that to myself. I don't want to live.
Mm.
I hate life.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because of the shame. So now, today, I'm not ashamed by my past. And it
Mm-hmm.
has
Mm-hmm.
come because of, I believe personally, enlightenment from my spiritual nature of trying to make the best of life, from the information that I put into my head and start my day every day, and the videos and the people that I surround myself with,
Mm-hmm.
releasing the bad stuff and living in the moment and enjoying it for everything that it is, because I recognize that I might not have the future, so who cares about that at this point? What I have to do is
Mm-hmm.
enjoy this moment here. And now I've recognized that, in fact, my why is empowerment. Is to empower not
Mm-hmm.
only myself, but is to empower other people so that they might be able to maybe not make the same mistakes. Now, and it's not mistakes in the end. It was just the choices that I made, and then the experiences that I had to experience so that I could be here today with you sharing this information and saying, you know what? It's okay. It's okay that we make mistakes, but you can
Mm-hmm.
overcome the self-loathing and the hating oneself and move forward to enjoy a wonderful life.
You know, I want to drop something in here right now because this is for you, and I'm hoping that you receive
Mm.
this. Um, if you go back to when you and I first
Yes.
connected, a few
Sure.
weeks back, you reached out regarding
Yes.
Impactor,
Yes.
and I always double back
Hmm.
around when something tries to make me think, who the hell does this guy think he is?
Sure.
Because I know how sneaky and tricky that other entity can be. Wait a minute. Why would you be trying so hard to not make me not like this person from the beginning? And I'm going to tell you something. I just wrote 3 words
Yes.
down on this paper that say something extra special. And that's for you,
Thank you.
because I want you to know something. I want you to know that I know it to be true because I feel it, and that's one of my gifts. Everybody that works with me knows that that's how Impact came
Hmm.
about. The Simon Cowell of this impact, this influence
Yes.
world. I accept that I'm allowed to see glimpses into other people's
Yes.
greatness, and I am telling you here today that there is something right around the corner in your life that you could have never seen coming. If it were shown to you just a glimpse before you went through the fire and were ready for it, it was so wonderful, it would have scared your ass to death. And literally, but I'm telling you
Yes.
now, you've done the work, and right around the corner is something that is going to rock your world and change the world of many, many people. I don't know what it is, but I'm telling you, it's right around, you're closer to it now than I believe you've ever been in your existence. I feel
Wow.
it and I believe it.
Thank you. That
It's the
it
truth.
brings up a lot.
It's the truth.
Yes, I know that it's the truth. Um,
What are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling some emotion. I feel like my dreams are being manifested, and they are in a big way. And it's a different experience I'm experiencing in life on a daily basis lately. People where you said that you thought that people came to me because of my voice and that I could listen to them and stuff. That's not, I was a teacher, I was a leader in business and stuff. And I was also just another one of the crew too as well. But
And you're still all of
yeah,
those
but I
things
also had in the past a
and
real
more.
I'm a follower, I'm not a leader thing in my brain. And
Hmm.
today I know that I'm a leader and that I need to help other people. So the emotion is gratefulness, um, an unbelievable sense of joy, because I have been working on myself diligently, and I have big plans for what I want to do, and it's not even plans, it's the affirmations that I know of that to be true. And the thing about the impactor, and I did reach out to you, and I made some suggestions to you as well. And um, I think we maybe got off to a little bit terse start, I suppose, or a difficult start because
It was
yeah,
purposeful.
and I recognize that now because um, I think I am the next impactor. Okay,
See?
I did.
Uh, well, when you can sit across the screen from me and say, I know it, we'll be getting
Yeah,
somewhere. Let me
yeah,
just say this to you
yeah.
really quickly because she's over there having a cup of coffee, but the crossing
Okay.
guard lady. Um, Two things that stand out to me. Number one, when you said, I have big plans for what I want. Well, know this. What is greater than you has bigger plans,
Right,
but they tie into what you
right,
need.
right. And see, that's
They tie into what you need,
eh,
okay?
yes,
Because what you need helps you get to what you want. If you want to lose 50 pounds, then you need to shop better so that you can, because you need to
yeah,
cook better, because you need to eat
yes.
better to lose the pounds you want. That's how that works, my friend. That's how that works. Now, another thing you said that stood out, I had to write this one down and take a navy blue marker and put a box around it so it didn't get mixed in and all this other
Yes,
stuff.
sir.
I'm going to tell you, I do whatever I can to make sure God's message does not get lost in
Right.
transition or something gets laid on top of it. That's why I do this, because this is for all of
Yes.
us. Okay, Stephen, because we're getting it. We're being fed just like you are this morning through your story, through your presence, and everything that you're bringing to the table
Thank you.
today. So know this. But when you said, in my brain, I still have some of that other.
Yeah,
Let me tell you something. It is never going to matter what's in
that's
your
right.
brain. What's going to matter the most is what's in your heart.
Right. And
Don't ever forget that.
that is the
Because, see,
difference.
things on the outside
Yes.
world, what people think about us, those shadows, we're the
Yeah,
tree. People's opinions are the
yeah.
shadows. They're going to change with every second the sun is moving across the sky. But when the sun goes down, that tree's still going to be where it was when the sun came up. And I want you to understand something. The outside world, people's opinions and things, they can only get in our
Right.
brain. They can't get in our heart. Only the truth can live within your heart. And the truth is the only thing in this universe that will never change on you and will never change at all.
Right.
The only thing. It doesn't get older, it doesn't lose weight, it doesn't rust,
And that
it doesn't get
and
watered down. It's going to always be the same as it always
I I
was.
I've because I've forgiven myself, I can actually be honest with myself, and it started there because now I can look in that mirror and I can say, I love you, Stephen. You are a good person. You are worthy.
Mm.
And there was just so many days that I couldn't do that. But God does and is and will always answer our prayers if we are
Mm-hmm.
faithful. And what he does is not always answer our prayer the way that we had it in our mind. And so we have to go, oh my goodness, this
Ooh,
is really what that was.
that is so true. And you know, my grandmother told me when I was a little kid, and then another lady told me later in life, don't pray for specifics
Right. That's true.
because it may not be what you need. It could be just what you want.
Yeah.
Pray. That's why I use a 4-word mantra every day. Thy will be done. Whatever it is.
Yes. Excellent.
And that way, whatever comes my way, I'm not looking at it as I try not to. Excuse me, I'm still
Well, we
human.
are.
And sometimes I'll go like, what the hell? But I know that I'm going through everything for a
Mm-hmm.
reason. And it's God's will. And like you said it a minute ago about that
Yes,
faith.
it is through faith.
And faith isn't something that we can have a share. You cannot pray for faith.
No.
or else it's not Faith. And we can't have a shared custody agreement with Faith.
Right.
You can't pick it up on holidays and every other weekend and then drop it back
Right.
off.
Right.
You see? So Stephen, let's what time is it?
I'm
Because
not sure.
I don't have my computer and
Let me just
huh?
look. I have to get glasses to see that.
That's okay.
It is your time, I guess, 3 minutes, about 2 minutes to 9.
See, that was my internal clock about when the show should be wrapping.
Sure.
Man, listen. Man, there's so much more to you. I got to have you
Thank
back.
you.
I got to get you back for a part
That
2.
sounds fair. Yeah, I'd love to do that
And
because
I'm
there is
serious.
more. There is more.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How would you like to come back next Friday, a week from this Friday?
that's fine.
Can you do that?
I'm not
I'm
even
putting
going to
you on
look
the
at my
list right now.
calendar. I'm just going to say yes. I got a busy schedule for a day
That's
job.
the 25th.
The 25th. I'll make a note of that right now. So I got a busy
I'm putting
day
you on.
job, but like I did for today, I just lay my foot down and say, look, this is important. I am blessed and humbled, like I said, that you brought me on your show and that I'm getting to have the opportunity to do this. And so I said, you need to change my appointments because I'm booked up for a couple of weeks, but that's okay. These people can wait for me to get to them because this is much more important in the bigger picture. So,
This is so awesome. I love you. I truly do. And we have thwarted the negative forces that tried to get between what has happened here and what is yet to happen.
Is that
yes,
sweet?
we have. Yes, we did. Yes, it is. It's one of the best things that's happened to me this quarter. Let's put it that way.
Awesome.
I'm going to tell you, and I mean that from my heart. Now, here's what I want you to do. I want you to drop in when I release you here. I want you to drop in how people can get on your list for you to send them that morning video. That rise and shine thing.
Oh, yeah, I do that almost daily again now. Yeah.
I know. And everybody out there, let me tell you something. You are never going to wake up and there's going to be a line of good news right outside the front door of your world. This is a way for Stephen will send something into you, and the minute you get up, if you want it, it'll be there for you.
Exactly.
Let me tell you something. The way that we honor the trajectory of our purpose in this world creates the momentum for whatever that trajectory stands for. So if you get out of bed, you haven't looked for something wonderful from the Creator, something that sends you in the right direction, that's when you're going to stub your toe on the edge of the bed and start cussing, and there you go, off the other direction. I'm serious. I know that.
Too.
That's why I asked God for something, and he gave me bathrobe moments. I couldn't wait till 10 or 11 in the morning and expect to get it right, because Loren doesn't need help screwing things up. I do that really well.
I can.
Okay? So, Stephen Smith, listen, drop in how people can get that great video from you every morning, practically. And then you guys mark your calendars for Friday, October 25th. And we're going to pick this back up because we're only up to the prison thing. And we need to go forward so we can let people know there's more to you. And I can't wait to get to it. So let me just say this. I honor you. I thank you. And I feel blessed and honored that we were brought together.
Yes, I agree 100%. Absolutely. This is the divine intervention, and it is wonderful. And I am humbled. And I'm learning from you too, because you are so very, very wise. And obviously you're intuitive as well.
Sure. Oh, well, you know what? Only time that's accurate is when I sit or stand or lay or whatever it is I'm doing, breathing and allowing what is greater than me to work through me. When it comes from me, it's a big old shitstorm. I'm just going to keep it real, because I hate to take the credit for it, because I know when people say those things, it is because I've allowed myself to keep my hands off the wheel, and the messenger did not for once get in the way of the message, just like with you today. So I thank you. I'll let you get to work. We'll see you again Friday the 25th, and we'll pick back up from here. I'm marking in the notes where to begin with you. Okay, and you know how it works now, so put it together. I'm gonna let you run.
I'll go ahead.
Next
and I'll go ahead and I'll come back here. I'll put in the links for the video for this morning, And I'm
Awesome.
on YouTube. I'm on loading up there too as well. So yeah, just welcome to tell people and to give them some inspiration and start their day in a positive manner. All
Wonderful.
right.
Thank you,
Thank
my
you.
man, and my friend. I'll see you a week from Friday,
Yes,
if not
that
before.
sounds wonderful.
All
Okay,
right.
take care. Thank you, everybody.
Ha-
Appreciate you and have a
Yes.
blessed day.
All right.
Okay,
You as
bye for
well.
now.
Thank
You're
you,
welcome.
Stephen. Stephen Smith, everybody. We're going over a couple minutes, but you know how that works. It's just purposeful. You know what I'm saying, right? We hit how many times you hit the snooze button? Right. So we stick around for what we want to stick around for, including extra sleep. Stephen Smith, thank you. Just getting started with this great man. And he's going to be back again. Mark your calendars for October 25th. Now, coming up tomorrow, artist extraordinaire Andrew Shorts. Andrew Shorts will be here. He's been on, I think, once before. He's done all the murals and stuff for The Bald Avenger, also known as Jason Cisneros. And this young man has an incredible story, and he's back to tell us about some new and exciting things in his world. So that's tomorrow, the 17th, here on Bathrobe Moments. Next week, and I have Friday. I just want to make sure it's confirmed for this Friday before I tell you. I'll tell you tomorrow. But next week, here's the lineup for next week because Stephen just rounded out next week, so you can mark your calendars. Abby Levine, Millionaire Mindset from California, the #1 hypnotherapist in the Los Angeles area, many years running. Will be here with us. Cecilia, oh boy. Schaubel, I don't know how to say her last name. I think it's Schaubel, will be here on Tuesday. Kim Jorgensen Gain will be here Wednesday. Dan Mendelow. Dan Mendelow will be here Thursday. And then again, Friday the 25th, Stephen Smith is back. So if you or someone you know has a compelling story, something to share that helps us all stand up or sit up, lift our chins a little bit higher, we want you here, right here on Bathrobe Moments. Here's what I want you to do now. Get out there, won't you please, and do what it is we do. Do whatever it takes to love up on everyone and everything you encounter just a little bit, just a little bit. If you change everything that comes through your path just a tad bit for the better, what a world. What a wonderful world. Just keep that in mind, right? In order to be the blessing, you got to want to see the blessing. So look for it. Seek, knock, and you will find. That's a fact because it's a promise from what is greater than all of us put together. Okay? Listen, I'll see you back here tomorrow morning. Now get out there and love up on everyone, everything you can. But remember, don't lose yourself in the cracks. First, love yourself and let it go out from there. Let it go from there, right? Okay, I love you. You love me. We're a happy family. Okay. Yeah, he was purple. I'll give you a click because I know who was that? Barney. Listen, you guys, thank you so much for staying extra. I love you. I adore you. And I receive everything you have into my life because I need you more than you could ever need me. And that's a fact. God bless you. Get out there and be the blessing right after you look in the mirror and you see the blessing. I'm Loren Harris. I'll see you tomorrow morning. Meet you out on the front porch. Bye now.